I never should have gone back to the house. Everyone warned me. You know, the creepy one at the end of the overgrown cul-de-sac, the one people whisper about but never go near. It sat there, rotting, covered in ivy, with shattered windows like gaping black eyes. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. I had to know. It all started with the dare. "I dare you to spend one night in the McPherson house," my friend said. I should have said no, but I didn't. I packed a flashlight, an old sleeping bag, and my phone, just in case. The front door creaked when I pushed it open. Classic. The air inside was ice cold, and I could smell something rotting. My flashlight beam wavered as I moved through the dust-choked hallway, my footsteps echoing on the warped wooden floors. They say a family died here, horribly. People claim you can still hear the screams at night, or see shadows moving across the windows. I didn't believe in any of that. I'm not superstitious, or at least, I wasn't. The first few hours were quiet, too quiet. I kept hearing faint noises, a soft tapping in the walls, like someone whispering just out of reach. At one point, the flashlight flickered. Of course it did. Batteries always die at the worst time, right? I swore under my breath and smacked the side of it. Suddenly, I heard it. A child's giggle. High-pitched. Hollow. "Hello," I called. Because that's what you do in horror stories. You call out even when you're alone. The giggling stopped. My heart thumped in my chest as I walked deeper into the house, my legs moving against my will. The basement door stood ajar, a dark void. The giggle came again, louder this time, followed by a soft voice singing, "Ring around the rosy." I shouldn't have opened that door. The flashlight flickered again as I descended the rickety basement stairs. The air grew colder. My breath fogged. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the stone walls. I reached the bottom and froze. There, in the center of the basement, was a doll. An old porcelain doll. Its eyes were wide open and it smiled. And then, it moved. The giggle grew louder, echoing. I turned to run, but the basement door slammed shut. My phone had no signal. The flashlight sputtered and died. I was plunged into darkness, and the giggling turned to screaming. I don't remember much after that. The next thing I knew, it was morning. My friends found me outside the house, shaking, covered in dirt, my clothes torn. They asked me what happened. I couldn't answer. All I knew was I would never go back there again. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear the giggling, and I wake up with dirt under my fingernails. I know. The old, abandoned cemetery is always a bad idea. But we were teenagers, and teenagers are stupid. It was Halloween night. The air was foggy, so thick I could barely see my own hand in front of me. My friends, Tyler and Jesse, thought it'd be hilarious to sneak into Blackwood Cemetery and tell ghost stories by the old crypt. You know the one. Big stone door, moss-covered walls, ominous gargoyle statues. Basically the blueprint for a haunted graveyard. "Bet you can't go inside, dude," Tyler said, shoving me. I laughed, trying to act tough. "Watch me." The crypt door groaned when I pushed it open, like the place itself was warning me. I stepped inside. It was pitch black, the kind of darkness that swallows you whole. My flashlight barely cut through the gloom, the beam dancing on the cracked stone floor and ancient cobwebs. "Hello?" I called out, because apparently that's the thing people do when they're alone in scary places. My voice echoed back to me, like someone was whispering it from behind the walls. I shook it off and laughed nervously. But then I saw it. A coffin. Dead center of the crypt. It was massive, carved with strange symbols that looked like, I don't know, hieroglyphics? Probably just graffiti, I told myself. But then the lid shifted. Not a lot. Just enough. I froze. Guys, I whispered. No answer. And then I heard it. A low, raspy sound. Breathing. The flashlight flickered, because of course it did, and suddenly the coffin lid flew open. I didn't scream. Okay. I screamed. Loud. Something crawled out. Not walked. Crawled. A skeletal figure wrapped in rags, its hollow eye sockets locked onto me like it could see me. Its bony fingers scratched against the stone as it dragged itself forward. You disturbed me, it croaked, because ancient undead things always have dramatic catchphrases. I turned and bolted out of that crypt faster than I've ever run in my life. I stumbled through headstones, the fog swirling like ghostly hands trying to pull me back. Tyler and Jesse were waiting at the gate, doubled over laughing. Dude, you look like you saw a ghost, Jesse snorted. I tried to explain, panting. There was something in there. A body, moving, I swear. They didn't believe me. They never do. But here's the thing. When I got home that night, there was dirt on my shoes. Black, cemetery dirt. And when I looked in the mirror, there was something on my shoulder. Bony fingerprints, like something had grabbed me. Now, every night since, I hear scratching. Quiet at first, then louder, like something trying to claw its way out of the walls. Last night I woke up to find dirt on my bed. And this morning I swear I saw the words, "You disturbed me," scratched into the mirror. I think it followed me. But hey, it was just a prank, right? It all started when I moved into my new apartment. I should have known something was off when the landlord said the last tenant left in a hurry, and then refused to say more. But hey, cheap rent is cheap rent. The place was small and grimy, and there was this weird, old mirror bolted to the wall in the bathroom. You know the type. Ornate frame, peeling gold paint, and a glass that looked just a little off. Like it was too dark. Too deep. I should have tossed it out, but I didn't. The first night, I heard noises. At first it was a drip. 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 The faucet. Classic. I got up, turned it off, and went back to bed. But as soon as I closed my eyes, I heard something else. A faint scratching sound, like nails against glass. When I flipped the bathroom light on, nothing looked out of place, but the mirror seemed darker, deeper. I convinced myself it was all in my head. I mean, I'm not crazy. By the third night, things got worse. I was brushing my teeth, staring into the mirror, when I saw it. A shadow behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Just a towel hanging on the door. I laughed nervously, because that's what you do when your apartment starts turning into a horror movie. Get a grip, I muttered. Then the shadow moved. I looked back at the mirror, and this time my reflection smiled. I wasn't smiling. My mouth went dry as my reflection tilted its head and whispered something I couldn't hear. I stumbled back, knocked over the toothbrush holder, and bolted out of the bathroom. That night, I slept with the lights on, but sleep didn't help, because I started dreaming about the mirror, about something inside it. A face, pale, hollow, grinning. The next morning, there were scratches on the bathroom door. The mirror wanted something. Just leave the apartment, you're probably thinking, yeah. I thought that too. So I packed up my stuff, but when I tried to leave, the front door wouldn't open. The lock wouldn't budge. That's when I heard it. The voice, low and distorted, coming from the bathroom. "Let me out." I froze. "Let me out," it roared, shaking the walls. I ran back to the bathroom like a total idiot, because in horror stories, that's what you do. The mirror was pulsing, the glass rippling like water. And then, oh, this is the best part. A hand burst through, pale, twisted, grabbing at the air. I screamed. The hand clawed at the frame, and slowly it started crawling out. A creature, no, a thing, dragging itself through the mirror. Its face was a twisted version of mine, its mouth grinning impossibly wide. "You let me in," it rasped. I ran. I slammed the bathroom door shut and shoved a chair against it. Now, I can hear it scratching on the other side. Sometimes I see its face in the corner of my eye, reflected in windows, in my phone screen, in the back of spoons. The mirror's gone now, shattered into pieces. But that didn't help. I think it's in me now. I don't sleep anymore, because when I close my eyes, I see it, grinning at me from the dark. And sometimes, it whispers my name.